Good afternoon, everyone. This is a tropical update for September 6th, 2022. We have a lot to keep you updated on. Let's get right into it here. We do have Tropical Storm Earl still ongoing here north of Puerto Rico, still traveling northward towards Bermuda that we are going to have to watch very closely. We have Hurricane Danielle, which is slowly but surely weakening here into a tropical storm later on here. By tomorrow, it should be a tropical storm there. And we do have a disturbance here just west of the Cabo Verde Islands that does have a lot of convection with it, but we don't see overall a lot of circulation in the mid-levels. We also do have a new disturbance coming off of Africa here, and this is also a 20% chance of development within kind of this area, in kind of the same area where this one is, but will develop possibly later here. We could see a possible disturbance here in the Gulf of Mexico, now bring some rainfall here for portions of the southeast. So definitely in the peak of hurricane season, it is definitely looking like in the Atlantic Basin. As you can see, the peak of hurricane season is September 10th. We are nearing that, only 4 days away. So practically between now and then, we are pretty much in the peak of hurricane season, and then we are going to continue to see that well over September 10th. So let's go and look at the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook from the National Hurricane Center, updated at around 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now the 1 p.m. Central update should be coming out very soon, and like I just said, that did just come out as I'm making this. There is a 2 p.m. update. We do have the disturbance here. These are not invests yet, but we do have disturbance 1, which is in orange. That is a 60% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. That did get upgraded from a 50% chance from yesterday. And we do have disturbance 2 in that yellow, and that is still on Africa. That is still on land, but we'll soon be heading into that area to watch, which has a 20% chance of development. There it is. Tropical Storm Earl has 65 mile-per-hour winds with a minimum central pressure of 996 millibars. And we also do have Hurricane Danielle, which is just on the lowest part of the Category 1 status, around 75 mile-per-hour winds and a minimum central pressure of around 986 millibars. Here's the updated forecast cone for Tropical Storm Earl. And as you can see, it is pretty much the same as yesterday, except this a very teeny bit there eastward of the cone. There is Bermuda. So Bermuda is right on the edge of the cone. Bermuda was actually inside of the cone yesterday, but this did shift a little more eastward, which is good news. But again, we're still here about 3 days out, which that means this could change here. Maybe go a little more westward, bring more impacts to Bermuda, or this could even go even more eastward and bring less impacts to Bermuda. So I'll keep you updated on that through daily videos. Let's look at the tropical storm force wind speed probabilities that was just updated here. Now here's Hurricane Danielle. As you can see, that is not Tropical Storm Earl, but that is from the tropical storm force wind probabilities from a Hurricane Earl up there in the northern Atlantic. Now as you can see, Bermuda, as you can see, is just on the edge here of the orange and kind of the deeper red here. And that means you're going to see around a 60 to 70% chance for possible tropical storm force wind speeds later this week after Wednesday. So Bermuda, you need to watch out for this, as you could see some definitely damaging winds in some spots. Just pretty much be prepared and keep watch on these forecasts, as they are constantly updating, and you may get less impacts or you may get more impacts. It just depends on the track here and if it changes or not. So here's a GFS model, and this is actually looking at the United States, part of the Atlantic and part of the Pacific. Now we're going to be looking at the Pacific right now for the GFS model, because as you can see, we are seeing a hurricane right now, Hurricane K, that is currently west of Mexico. That is actually going to impact portions of Mexico here, make landfall on a good portion of western Mexico, and then bring a lot of rainfall here to a lot of Arizona, southern California. That's going to bring a lot of rainfall and come very close there to the Los Angeles area. Again, you are going to see a lot of rainfall bringing, and look at this, we can even go a little more backwards here, and we even see a also a low pressure system that does form in the Gulf of Mexico. That does bring quite a bit of rainfall to a lot of the southeast to cure any possible droughts coming. A lot of that rainfall in the southeast is just going to prevent that. I'll switch over to the main show here, the Atlantic, and with the GFS model, as we know, the GFS model does overhype some things a bit. As you can see, Earl looks to be possibly making it to a major hurricane here after it passes Bermuda, and it takes a very close call according to the GFS model, and even brings a lot of impacts there. Nearly gets the whole center of the low pressure on there according to this GFS run. Now this is just one run, so even though this does bring a lot of impacts to Bermuda, doesn't mean it's going to take that exact track there. So we're going to look at a few more models here after this. Now look at this. Here's that tropical disturbance, and as you can see, it doesn't really form into much. We do have some models that does form into something. Some models just don't have it forming into much here. But as you can see, it does have a decent amount of circulation here in late week, just southwest of that high pressure system that's in the eastern portion of this Atlantic. But we do also have more signs of tropical waves here going on around September 15th. We have to also watch, and we're probably going to get those areas to watch from the National Hurricane Center for those as well. Let's do the icon model, which has been very interesting here with its runs lately. As you can see, it has, Earl making it to a major hurricane, has quite an eastern track, which doesn't bring a lot of impacts to Bermuda, but definitely still you need to be prepared for Earl, as it does just kind of miss you to the east. But as you can see, there's that disturbance here, and we do have also more disturbances around September 14th. But there's that one disturbance. It doesn't really have it forming into much, and that's why we only have around a 60% chance, because it does have a decent chance of forming, but not a guaranteed chance at all for the one disturbance just west of the Cabo Verde Islands. Now there's the secondary disturbance, which shows up and even possibly develops here around September 14th. According to this icon model, this is one of the main models for the tropical season. It is quite reliable and doesn't really hype things too much. It is definitely one of those models where it's actually pretty decent at what it does, especially for the tropical season here. So as you can see, again, more possible tropical storms, tropical disturbances invests here around middle September. We've seen this trending in the some of these models for a very long time here, for about a week or so. So we're gonna have to watch these closely here in middle September. All right, now here's a CMC model. We're gonna look at the Euro in just a second here. But there it is. There's Hurricane Earl. It doesn't really have it making it to a major hurricane, which is quite realistic with the wind shear that's going to be entering here, but it is even strengthened as it heads more into the northern Atlantic. There's that disturbance, that secondary disturbance. Doesn't have the one disturbance developing into much, but it does have the secondary disturbance developing into a little something, but still not much. And this CMC run actually runs to around 240 hours out from now, which is around September 16th. I think this is a little late on that secondary disturbance, but I don't know. I'm not really sure on that. But we're going to look at the Euro model here, see what it's doing with these systems here. Now, it does have Earl making it to a major hurricane possibly here. Now, it does have that one disturbance coming off just west of the Cabo Verde Islands. It does have a decent amount of circulation, which means it could have some potential here to maybe form into a tropical storm. I'm not sure. Again, this high pressure is going to guide it into some drier air and wind shear, which is going to lower its chances, of course, but it's going to have a little bit of time to maybe get its act together, form into maybe tropical depression, but that's pretty much it as of right now. And of course, the high pressure is just going to be circulating up into the northern Atlantic, where it'll die off from there. Now here's a 0Z run from the Euro model, and look at this. We have this around September 15th, around September 12th to 15th. We have a lot of disturbances here coming off the coast of Africa, like we just saw with the CMC and icon model. There we go, 1, 2, and 3 around September 13th, around September 12th to 15th. We may see a very active main development region here. We will just have to wait and see, as we've still just seen this trending in the models here. Of course, it's 240 hours out from now, but it has been trending like crazy in a few of these models. So stay tuned for more updates on how these daily tropical videos out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream on the latest on the tropics. Daily uploads around 2 p.m. Central Time. Also, make sure to share this video with any friends or family that may want the latest updates on the tropics. Like the video, leave a comment and all of that. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.